All right, let's talk about something fascinating. What if attracting money isn't really about working harder, but about becoming a certain kind of person? Today, we're going to break down the 5 types of people that wealth just seems to find.
So, does this sound familiar? I mean, you're putting in the hours, right? You're grinding away, doing everything you think you're supposed to do, but that big financial win, it just never seems to show up. It's super frustrating, and you got to ask yourself, what am I missing here?
Well, here's the big idea, and it might sound a little backward at first. It's that money doesn't really care about hard work just for the sake of it. No, it's drawn to a completely different type of person. A person with a specific set of traits and a certain mindset. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the law of speed. This one concept actually covers the first 2 big secrets to attracting wealth.
The first secret is, well, it's simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Money loves speed. It just does. It flows to people who take quick, decisive action. You know, all that hesitation, that overthinking, that waiting for the perfect moment, those are the absolute enemies of building wealth. The faster you jump on a real opportunity, the faster you're going to see the payoff.
I mean, look at someone like Jack Ma. He didn't invent e-commerce, not at all. He just saw what was happening over in the US and had this light bulb moment. There was a huge, untapped market for it in China. He didn't wait around for someone else to do it. He didn't wait for the market to be proven. Nope, he acted immediately. And that speed, that's what let him build an entire empire. And this leads right into the second secret, which is kind of a twist on that whole speed thing. See, it's not just about being fast. It's about acting before you feel 100% ready. You know the saying, the rich don't wait. And those who wait, well, they don't get rich. They're always waiting for that perfect moment. But guess what? It never comes. Okay, this story is just great. So, the founder of the Ichitan brand, he was literally told by a fortune teller to wait a whole year before starting his business. How many of us do that? We look for some outside sign, we wait for the right time for every single star to align perfectly. But this guy, he just ignored that advice, started his business right away, and guess what? He got rich a year sooner. The lesson here is that perfect readiness is a total myth. It just keeps you sitting on the sidelines. All right, next up, let's get into mastering the trend. This is all about that third type of person, the one who can practically see where the money is going to be in the future. This analogy is just a perfect way to think about it. Imagine you get an inside tip that a brand new highway is going to be built right through some empty field. What's the smart move? Is it to wait until you see the bulldozers and construction crews? Of course not. The smart move is to buy that land now, while it's still cheap. Because by the time everyone else sees that highway being built, it's too late. The price is shot up and the huge opportunity is gone. And our source gives a really great personal example of this. The author talks about being in China back in 2019 and realizing, whoa, TikTok is about to be a huge deal globally. Back then, almost nobody in his country was using it. But did he wait? Nope. He jumped right on it, started making content, and built a massive following while everyone else was still kind of scratching their heads. He basically bought the land long before the highway was even paved. Okay, get ready for this next one because it's probably the most surprising idea of them all. The power of lazy. Yeah, you heard me. The fourth person that money absolutely loves isn't the one working 80 hours a week. It's the one who is strategically lazy. Let's dive into this, because it's a real game changer.
Now, hold on. To be crystal clear, we are not talking about sitting on the couch doing nothing. Not at all. We're talking about smart laziness. It's a whole different thing. It's about being strategic. It's about putting your energy into building systems that do the heavy lifting for you, instead of trying to do all the work yourself.
So how do you actually do this? Well, it's all about creating leverage, getting way more results for way less of your own personal effort. So first, you build a system. Think about the franchise model that 7-Eleven uses. That's a system. That's how you scale. Then you build a brand that starts working for you, gaining value on its own. And finally, you put it all together to build a true money-making machine, something that brings in cash without you having to be there every single second. And that, right there, is the ultimate goal of being smartly lazy. It's about creating this financial leverage that completely separates your time from your income. It doesn't matter if it's investments that grow on their own, social media content that's working for you 24/7, or businesses that run on these amazing systems. The whole point is to make money while you're working, and more importantly, to make money even while you sleep.
Okay, this brings us to our final, and honestly probably the most important type of person, the one with the million-dollar mindset. You can think of this as the magnetic force that pulls everything else together and makes it all work.
Just think about it for a second. Building any kind of real wealth is almost never a one-person show. right? You're going to need a team, you're going to need customers, partners, investors. So the question becomes, who do people actually want to work with? Who do they want to give their time and their money to?
And this really just says it all, doesn't it? When a crisis hits, the positive thinker immediately starts looking for the opportunity hidden inside it, the lesson, the pivot. But the negative thinker, they just see a crisis in every opportunity. That one little difference in how you see the world, it literally determines whether you attract people and solutions or push them away.
And here's the best part. This is not something you're just born with. It's a skill. It's something you can actually practice and get better at. So you have to be intentional. Limit how much negative news you're consuming. Stop the doom scrolling. Be really selective about the information you let into your brain. Because when you do that, your positive attitude becomes like a magnet for positive people, and you guessed it, positive outcomes.
So, there you have it. We've gone through all 5 types of people, but just learning about them, that's only the beginning. Now it's your turn. It's time to go from just learning to actually becoming.
All right, let's do a super quick recap. Money chases the fast actor, the one who jumps on opportunities. It chases the unready starter, the one who doesn't wait for perfect. It chases the trend rider, who sees the future and gets in early. It chases the lazy system builder, who creates leverage. And finally, it chases the positive magnet, the person whose mindset just pulls in success.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. See, this isn't just about what you learned today. It's about who you are choosing to be. So, which of these people are you already? And more importantly, which one are you going to start working on today? Because the real secret is that you absolutely have the power to become the kind of person that money can't help but chase.